Hey, what's up guys, welcome to Spider Cafe, a place for creepy crawly talk and macro photography. And today we're gonna be talking about macro photography and specifically about stacking. And the reason why I like stacking, and I was a little hesitant to use it at first because I do spend a lot of time in front of my computer. And for me, part of the charm of macro photography is getting out there and taking pictures of bugs in nature. But since last year I wasn't able to get out as much anyway because of the lockdowns. I started, keeping spiders, and I got into stacking too. And it actually opened up a lot of new possibilities for me because now instead of getting just the eyes of the spider in a focus, I'm able to get its full body, and it's definitely useful for something like tarantulas if you wanna get those hairy legs in, get that abdomen in, and everything. You will have to stack it because what stacking basically means is you get layers of focus. You take pictures of layers of focus, and then you put all of these layers together in one image. So basically, I was explaining in one of my earlier videos. Let's see, I have something here. I have a spider here, like this. So if I was standing right here and I was taking the picture of the spider and I was gonna get a focus stack, I would take a picture of this part first, then this part, then this part, then this part, this part, and this part, and it would be, I don't know, 6 layers, and then I would in Photoshop put them all together. So this is what I'm gonna show you today in the tutorial, how I go about it, and hopefully it's gonna help you with something. Okay, so let's get started. This is gonna be our final result, and once we stack all the images together. So I'm gonna show you the images that I took and the pictures that I took on Friday, and as you can see, her abdomen is actually cropped in the first few pictures because I was trying to get the front legs in a focus, and it would be cropped, but since it's not in a focus anyway, Photoshop won't be using those parts of the picture, so it doesn't matter. It's only gonna be using the parts of the pictures that are in a focus. And as you can see on the images, individual parts of the spider are coming in a focus. Now his eyes, and I didn't really have time to adjust my settings. That's why the pictures are so dark, because she's very flighty, and as you can see right here, she immediately at the end of the burst was already running into her burrow. And I'm not gonna be using those images because we need the spider to be in the same place. So let's get started. So we're gonna go to File, Scripts, and load files into stack. Okay, this brings up this menu. We're gonna browse to our files. You can select first and then last. In this case, I'm selecting actually last because I just remember that's the image before she bursts into her burrow. Here we're gonna ask Photoshop to automatically align the source images for us, and then hit OK. And as you see, I actually selected all the images. I don't know if it's a new bug in a Photoshop. You used to didn't have to do it, you would just be able to hit OK. But recently I had it a couple of times that it would just load like 2 or 3 layers and that would be it. So I started selecting all of them, and that I guess prevent this bug, or I don't know, maybe that's as intended, maybe that's what you gotta do. New design. So let them load. I kinda cut it out too, so you guys don't have to wait, because it was extra 4 minutes of just loading and aligning and blending together, and I don't think you guys wanna watch that. But less images, less time, so I should have cut it even shorter, huh? Oh well. Maybe I can sing a song for you. Oh, no, I don't have to. Alright. Well, here we are. So everything is aligned, and as you can see, you only see the top image because it's all layers put on top of each other. So I'm gonna select the top layer, and I'm gonna select the bottom layer, and you can see how Photoshop did a great job of aligning it. And I'm gonna blend these layers together. Auto blend layers. And I do stack images option, not a panorama, stack images. And again, it's gonna work for a little bit. Alright, so here it popped into the final image, and it created its own layer on top of all those focus layers. It created a one layer with all of them combined together. And what I usually end up doing is scrapping around, because it has a lot of areas that are auto-filled by Photoshop, and I think those are the ones actually that Photoshop also selects for you, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I usually crop the image for the stack images. Otherwise I usually keep my images uncropped in Photoshop, because you know, you can always crop it. Alright, so let's do this. Let's crop it. Taking me forever, huh? Just to crop an image. And I cut it shorter. But here it is. So obviously still really dark. So now I'm gonna bring up my camera raw. And so here we're gonna adjust the brightness and some other settings. So I'm gonna bring up the exposure to roughly 1. Depends on your monitor too, and usually I change it on my phone before I submit to something like Instagram. And then usually I lower the highlights, because for macro, you know, the highlights are usually not very pretty. And for something like this, when you have a big spider, it creates its own shadow kind of underneath. I usually bring up the shadows, and that way we get to kind of we get some of the details underneath of the spider too. And usually here I do all of my adjustments. I also bring up a little bit of a texture and a little bit of a clarity, and that way I don't have to do any unsharp masking, you know, after I use the camera raw filter. And basically this is everything that I do to my images. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope this was informative and help you with anything. If anything didn't make sense, please feel free to reach out in comments, and I'll be happy to help you with you know, anything that I can actually answer. And I'm back. Hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully there was something new there for you. And this is basically my process with most of my pictures. Usually I don't do any more retouching unless it's something that I really like, and there is like that one hot spot, you know, that I'll, you know, sometimes I would brush it out, but doesn't really happen very often. Part of the having a good diffuser is that you actually don't have many of hot spots or anything like that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I also want to show you our t-shirts came in. So we have some t-shirts, Spider Cafe t-shirts, based on movies, and I put bugs in them. So here you have a jumping spider as a Darth Vader, and here you have a couple of mantids in love. And we put our logo on a sleeve, or we put it on a bag, and sometimes the logo is also in a design, and you can find those on spidercafe.shop, and there's a new design coming up, Pulp Fiction, really soon, so hopefully you guys like those too. Alright, so that is it from me for this video. Hit the like button if you like this video, hit the notifications button, and subscribe. Alright, see you guys later.